Go back to season 1 where he's talking about going to school and he's gonna be doing all this stuff. Straight A student. What was it? Summa cum laude. Yeah. Now look where we're at. Exactly where I said.
Well, I'm still on track.
No, I believe that. I believe it.
I just don't give a
Yeah, that part. That's the part that I'm
there's
saying.
no passion behind it. It's literally
just to get
fleshly.
I gotta get this done.
Fleshly strength. I'm going out on my own will, on my own desire. Like,
that's crazy.
God's not in it at this point. like I stopped praying about school.
I stopped.
I'm just like, bro, I'm on my own volition. I'm just trying to get through
your
this.
prayers sound different now. It's like, Lord, just, if you could just take this away.
I'm like, Lord, just please.
What do I need to do to help you get to this next level?
I feel like you can point me northeast, southwest. As I was saying, I was like, I don't know my answer, so I need to think.
No, I was saying. Welcome to C2C podcast, where we touch on and break down elements of creativity in its many forms. I am your host, Darius Murphy, aka Create, and our co-host is with us.
How's that, Cray?
Okay.
You call me Nomad, I guess.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where I'm at on the spectrum, but I am on the spectrum, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's one of them days.
It is one of those. We have a lot of those type of days on here. I mean, we've said that quite a bit, honestly, especially in the old building.
Like, whoever's been sitting in this chair, I don't know what the hell they've been doing.
Yeah,
because this mic smells like mustard.
Does it?
Yes.
Mustard's crazy.
Mustard is very crazy.
That's very crazy.
And the crazy thing is, there's no mustard on it, so I think it's just spit.
It's breath.
Yeah. It's
capturing the breath. That's bad.
So if audio's cutting in and out for me, it's because I got it farther than I usually do. Shout out Colgate.
So today we plan on having a guest in. Plan on having a couple of things go down, but it didn't end up going through. So we're just gonna wing it. That's what we're gonna do today. That's a bird or what?
2 wings.
2 wings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, two of us winging
2
it.
of them.
Yeah. So yeah. What's been going on? Why is today one of those days for you? Did it start when you got here? Is that when it started?
Oh yeah, I got pissed when I got here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why? For what?
Really, I got pissed before I got here.
What happened?
I woke up. It was just bad.
It was just
day.
one of those days.
Yeah, I had an off day. I woke up.
Today was off.
Had some crazy thoughts going through my head.
Dang.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Crazy thoughts going through my head. Then I tried to get here and the train came by.
Oh,
the train left.
That's probably what really kicked it off, honestly. For me, it did.
And then the gate stayed shut.
Yeah. That's so bad.
And so I'm driving around trying to figure out.
Claremore, we got to do better.
I'm trying to figure out why niggas are not moving through the gate. Like, you've seen a train go by. Clearly, a train cannot be behind it or coming the same direction that it just left. So you have time to drive through.
Just go ahead and go.
You're fine.
Yeah, I think my mom got a ticket for that once.
I wish Claremore would give me a ticket for it. I mean, bro, y'all niggas serious?
Y'all either build a bridge or make the track go around the city.
I will give you money to build a bridge.
I will give you money.
I guarantee you, if they did like a GoFundMe for Claremore,
oh yeah,
100%. It'd be done within a month.
No, forget the money. You talking about the actual building or money, raising the money?
The money
will be done within 24 hours, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Like I've heard,
it's trash.
Yeah, I've heard the train situation since I was a kid.
We'll fly someone in from like Texas that actually builds bridges, that actually gets paid well. We'll pay you to build a bridge. Thus says the city of Claremore. I swear to God. I put the D at the end, so therefore it's not.
It's not blasphemy.
Is that would the word blasphemy work for that?
I don't know. That's what came to my mind.
I think, whatever. I'm not saying his name in vain. I don't know.
That's not the. You hope you're not.
I don't know.
We don't know our own hearts.
I'm not here.
We don't.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I do. I feel like I do. Kind of.
I don't know.
Guys, it's how y'all been? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that is a good question. We honestly probably need to do a live, get that live going. We'll probably kick that off at season 3. Season 3 started off at live. We were supposed to do it for season 2.
This ain't season 3?
This is season 2 still. Yeah, we're still in season 2.
This is bad.
And that's okay.
It's a bad season.
No, I wouldn't say it's bad.
It started off really good.
Y'all tell us, which season do y'all prefer, season 1 or season 2 so far? And then what adjustments do y'all want us to make? Well, literally, if y'all comment or shoot us messages personally, we'll make adjustments. We're down. We're down for it.
Yeah. So enough about y'all.
So that's enough.
Yeah, I don't know. What about yourself? I mean, I'm sure you've been having a blast.
No, it's one of those seasons, especially for in the area of business and, you know, growing and learning and all the other stuff, the ins and outs of it. But other than that, besides business, you know, having a new baby, that's always fun. Oh yeah. You hit the right one.
Yeah. Cut the thing out. And then you also graduated.
Yeah, then graduating.
Not
Not only graduating with high honors. Both me and Amber. That's crazy.
Loser. Just kidding.
Nerd.
Yeah.
So all that. So there's a huge wave of relief, especially after graduating. You know, not the pressure. I mean, you're going through the pressure of doing homework and all that other stuff.
That's
right
what
now.
it is too.
Yeah.
I started school again last week, and I hate it.
That's tough.
Yeah, I hate school.
Yeah, breaks will do that. Whenever you have a break, especially like a Christmas break, and it's lengthy, it's like, and then you go back into that. It's really hard. Like if there was any times where I was going to drop out, it was right there at those points where it's like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do it. Staying up doing the homework.
They got us working in a new DAW. Never touched. They're like, hey, make a song in a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like if I just threw you DaVinci, hey, make a whole video in a week. Nigga, what are we talking about? And it's a portfolio class. We never used the DAW.
That's tough. It's a portfolio.
It's portfolio competency or something like that.
That's crazy.
What the fuck are we talking about?
That is crazy.
Oh, I mean, what the flibber flabber?
That's crazy. Yeah, no. For me, it was like that. But for everybody else, like they were used to working in Premiere. For me, I didn't work in Premiere at that point. I was using Final Cut.
Yeah.
And so whenever I moved to Premiere, everyone else was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And I'm literally looking at the whole interface like, what the heck am I looking at? Where do I find this? And so that junk was crazy for me. Like that. I literally did. I've never felt as lost as I did. And normally I can just navigate my way through it. But Premiere was tough for me. But now I'm like, that's the old program. I'm trying to move to DaVinci and learn that stuff now. So
yeah, see, I started using it and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with failing.
You know what? I think failing is good.
I am okay with not getting an A.
That's crazy.
I got an A never.
Dang, I told you it was gonna end up wearing off because you were on it, especially in the beginning. You're like, oh no, I'm getting all A's. I'm studying. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and here we are.
I mean,
y'all. I guarantee you, we go back to season 1 where he's talking about going to school and he's gonna be doing all this stuff. Straight A student. What was it? Summa cum laude. Yeah. Now look where we're at. Exactly where I said.
Well, I'm still on track.
No, I believe that. I believe it.
I just don't give a
fuck. That part. That's the part that I'm saying.
There's no passion behind it. It's literally
just to get
fleshly.
I gotta get this
fleshly strength. I'm going out on my own will, on my own desire. Like,
that's crazy.
God's not in it at this point. like I stopped praying about school.
I stopped.
I was just like, bro, I'm on my own volition. I'm just trying to get through
your prayers sound different now. It's like, Lord, if you could just take this away.
I'm like, Lord, just please, let me get a 7-day assignment. It's like, all my homework be done on Sunday, God.
That's crazy.
And I promise I'll start it Saturday.
That is crazy. I promise you I'll start on Saturday.
Yeah, because I got a new job. I got bruh. Like my schedule is not the same as it was in the beginning. It's just like, bruh.
Yeah, a lot of transitions. That would be tough. That would be tough.
It's tough. It's ass.
Yeah, nah, that would be tough.
I'm going crazy today, I guess.
So we are moving into, especially with, and I personally want to know your thoughts on it. How do you feel with what we're doing? And I know you kind of expressed it to me, and I think I feel where you're at. But what is your heart when it comes to what we're doing with the ECC stuff, like our Tuesday meetings that we're doing? And we'll talk more on that probably later on. We'll probably get Kendrick in here. We'll all three, me, Dontre, Kendrick, and Isaiah will all connect on that point. But where are you at with that? Where is your heart? Where is your heart? Just dive into that.
All right, guys. So this might get weird. I don't know. It's probably gonna get really boring. I ain't gonna cap.
Nah,
it might not. I don't know.
What?
I'm just not in the headspace.
No, I feel it.
So I'm gonna try to do my best to entertain, while also trying to.
And we only got to entertain because of you guys. Y'all want the entertainment.
Dog, it's been 10 minutes. That's it.
That's crazy. That's a long 10 minutes for.
That's the longest 10 minutes of my life. Unless you re-hit record.
I didn't.
I think I'm sweating.
Dang.
I'm not. Look at God.
Look at him moving.
Yeah, that boy's moving. I just need him to move in my schooling.
This boy is stressing about school for real.
Okay, yeah. So ECC. So for those of y'all that don't know, which y'all don't know, ECC stands for Embassy Creative Center. Next question.
That's crazy.
No.
How do you feel about what's going on, what we're doing, and also take us through? So we had a little. It's not an altercation.
Oh Jesus.
What was it? It was a difference in thinking.
It was.
I'm so nervous. Okay.
Paradigms.
Okay.
It was mental strokes between
two individuals.
Yeah.
I will say it was probably a lack of understanding on both sides, personality wise and just communication wise.
Yeah. If I'm not, I don't know if I want to get into it. Actually,
you don't.
You
don't have to talk about it. We don't
Here's
have
the
to.
Here's the deal. Because there's a lot that goes into a person.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I know where I sit. I know where I stand. I'm a believer. For those of y'all that don't know.
That big question of for those that big question Isaiah and his beliefs. Tell him. Maybe clarify what you're a believer in.
Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I believe that he died, rose 3 days later. He sits at the right hand of the Father, and with them, the Holy Spirit dwells in me and amongst us. And what else goes along with that line?
I think you're hitting it pretty good,
okay.
Man. I think you covered it.
All right. He raised Lazarus from the dead.
Yeah.
Same guy that fish loaves.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Fed about 12. At least 12.
Even if
he at least fed the disciples.
You don't know him, you've heard of him.
Yeah. No. All jokes aside, I don't know how to address this diplomatically.
Don't just talk. Be you. This is supposed to be an open environment. We want our guests to come on and do the same thing. So why wouldn't we do it?
No. Yeah.
Just candidly talk, and then I'll probably navigate if I feel it's going in a direction that probably shouldn't be going.
Yeah. So
all right, well, tell me this. Take me through your mindset whenever that happened. Because I think that's healthy. And I think how it was handled was healthy as well. I think that, and like I told you and Kendrick both, I was like, I think it was needed. I think it's needed, especially for Isaiah and especially for you.
So we're dropping names.
You
just did.
I said you. I said Kendrick.
Yeah.
That's fine. He's been on the podcast before.
But they didn't know who was between.
It's all good.
Oh.
Is that not fine?
I mean,
hey. I think he's fine with it.
Okay. Oh, I've never heard the green light.
Oh, if you have an issue with the Kendrick, come talk to me. We'll make some cuts. I don't believe you have an issue with it.
Well, so here's the deal.
I'll candidly talk about it.
Okay. No.
And I want this space. I want this to be that.
I'm gonna talk let's talk about that first.
Okay.
And then we'll go back into it. So my thought process is, if I am speaking about an issue going on between an issue or something that's just not resolved, I'll say, between me and someone, I don't know. I just don't want the backlash. I don't want the conversation of, hey, you said this and
whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So that's more personal then. Like you'd rather not have that conversation then.
I'll have the conversation, but not based off of an offense that they got because we spoke without permission.
Well, their offense is not on you, and especially if you're not slandering. Like, we're saying what happened. We're not making assumptions on nobody. We're not, like, none of that's going on. And so their offense, especially if you're not talking harshly towards them or, against them, their offense is that's not your, just like, it's not on you. That would be on them. That's how that we're gonna have Daniel on here one day. He's gonna talk all about offense.
Yeah, but okay. So then, if I am speaking, I don't know. I haven't figured it out. At what point can you? At what point is it dishonoring someone? I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say it. So Proverbs.
Sure. That's your book. That's
just what I'm in a lot right now.
Okay.
So Proverbs says something along the lines of, humility comes before honor.
Okay. Is it the same thing you sent me the other day?
Yeah, maybe. Was it in that?
Yeah.
Let me look that up because I don't want to say it out of order because the order obviously matters. Humility, honor. Oh boy, where is it at?
Yeah, you didn't text it to me. I don't know how I saw it. I saw it with my eyes though.
Oh yeah. The fear of the Lord provides wise instruction, and before honor comes humility. So this is it. And y'all out there, help me out. I'm curious to hear what everyone has to say about this.
Yeah, that is good.
I don't know how to speak on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm having issues in a certain area with someone else, and it is honoring because it leans more towards dishonor, but I'm honestly just being honest.
Yeah, I think that
because in my opinion, if there's discourse, then it's two sides holding their self, which I can raise my hand and be like, okay, maybe I'm clinging on to my own thought to a point to where I'm being selfish.
Yeah.
But I'm also like not the nigga to hold up.
Yeah, I think that's the point of being open and transparent, because if I'm asking you for you, like I'm saying, hey, I want to know how you feel about this.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to, like, I want to know how you feel. And that's why I said that was good, because, and you guys having a discussion is good because I want to know how you feel. I'm not coming with, like, for me, if I have an issue with you or something like that, anybody,
yeah,
I'll come to you and be like, bro, this is like, and I might have the total wrong perspective of what's going on or what happened, but this is how I feel. And so and doctors really honestly helped me with this. Is like, this is how I feel. And so I'm expressing to you how I feel. If I am wrong, please come back to me and let me know, like, hey, you took that completely wrong. This is my true intention on, what I was doing with this or whatever.
Right.
And so it's like at that point, that's why I said, I'm asking you how you felt or how you felt went or how you felt on your side. I'm not asking you even honestly anything personal on his side that could be potentially dishonoring, which like I said, again, Kendrick's a very candid, open person, especially whenever you're having that dialogue with him. He'll be straight up, just like hopefully you'll be, which you're going to be straight up. But I'm saying like it would not be a dishonoring thing. And I could be wrong with this, but this is just my point of view on it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be dishonoring for me to ask you, hey, how did you feel about that? And then for you to say, oh, I felt it pissed me off that this happened. But I could be wrong in this. And so this is stuff that I'm still processing, which is some stuff that you've even verbally said, like, I got to process this or I got to, go back and do whatever. Yeah. And so it's like, that's what I'm asking for. And I went, and also to bring you guys into it. That's what I wanted to do, to bring them in the journey of where we're at. And then in the next few years, like, oh, back then, like a few years ago, Isaiah was going through this, and now we see that they're actually tag teaming and they're doing this, and this.
Yeah. So I bring that up because me talking about a situation that they don't know about.
Sure.
I have to then say what the situation is.
Yeah.
And me saying it is one-sided.
I think, so then I at that point, that's when I would say, since no one knows what's going on, and especially in that situation, I would talk, probably not around it, but I would vaguely talk about what the heck's going on. Like, we're doing this thing, we're meeting every Tuesday, and we get together, and something got brought up, a question got asked, and I answered it, and this happened, and I felt this way about it, and I'm in the middle of, I'm not trying to tell what you should say, but I'm saying like that is how I would talk about it, so that it's not dishonoring and it's not like literally pinpointing an individual out, which the past 10 minutes has been that. But at the same time, I think I still think it's good and healthy, and also, I think it's good. I just think it's good. That's just me personally, and I could be wrong. I could be completely off.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
Bring us through it.
Dear audience, I'm going to say some things, and my hope for y'all is that y'all see what we are trying to do, what we are trying to articulate, what we are trying to build, and then what our lives look like, our our thought process, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm a joke in this next part. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to hear this afterwards.
Yeah, get into it.
All right. So me and Kendrick and backtrack. ECC, we have a meeting every Tuesday, and it is the twins, Dontre Darius, if y'all don't know. Because, sometimes Darius goes by Dontre. Sometimes Dontre goes by Darius. They just switch clothes really fast.
That's crazy.
And then Gabe. Y'all heard Kyra, right? In an episode?
Yeah, Kyra's been in multiple episodes, especially first season. Her voice anyways.
And then Kendrick. I don't know if I left anyone out. I don't think I did. As of right now. Well, Deuce was there.
Yeah, Deuce was there.
Deuce wasn't there.
Deuce was present. He wasn't present. Yeah.
But anyways, it's every Tuesday. And so it was just a weird day. A question. Oh, So the focus of the main point of that day was Darius, Kendrick, and Dontre were going to share the vision of what ECC was, because Kyra, Gabe, and I didn't know much about it. We just knew that they were wanting to meet, and then they were wanting to have us tag along or help out or whatever. Still don't know what that looks like entirely. Dontre wasn't there that day, so then it was just Darius and Kendrick. Darius, Kendrick, me, and then Gabe. Kyra couldn't make it just because. And there was a reason. I don't know what it was. Anyways, after they expressed the vision, Kendrick asked me a question. Kendrick asked Gabe and I the question of, like, what do y'all think? What do y'all hear? What do y'all feel about it? This is where I was speaking from. I'm not around anyone as much as I used to be, for personal reasons. I mean, stuff got weird and I needed to breathe. This is basically the easiest way to describe it. And so the place that I know I was going to be speaking from was from, what, a year and a half back. Yeah. And now, obviously, over time, people change, people grow, people adjust. And hopefully, those that are believers, like myself, hopefully those that are believers constantly weigh their judgments, their positions, their perspective, and they don't sit idle or put a lot of weight into certain thought processes or ideas or concepts or movements. So with that, to a degree, I held my position loosely, but I was still firm in it. Now, I do a thing with everyone that I'm around where I kind of test the waters to see if they grow in a certain area. I ask a question a certain way that it pokes, but it doesn't agitate people. I just know how to induce a response the way that I need to gauge if there's been change, movement, growth, if they're even addressing a situation or even if they see themselves. So over the year and a half, though I've been distant, I'm still keeping tabs in the way that I need to. And so I loosely know what people are going to say. But I hold that loosely, and I'm like, well, I'd leave room for improvement and growth because I don't know. So with that, I was given, or no, you asked me a question like what, 3 to 5 days prior to, of what can Darius do,
right?
Better for like this next, like, I don't know how you worded it.
I said going into this next year, how can I be a better brother to you? In what ways can I be a better brother to you?
Yeah. And so I didn't want to respond to that off of just instinct and the first thoughts that came to my head, because I don't know if that's legit. So I sat with it and I told him I'd respond, or I'd give him an answer later on. Anyways, Tuesday comes around, and before I walk in, God gives me a word. Like, it's literally one word for each person. Well, except for whatever. He gives me a saying for each person. The only one I didn't get one was for Kyra. I don't know why. So Darius's was consistency. Kendrick's was collaboration. Gabe's was follow through. And I haven't said Dontre's because how I was going to say it was going to be spoken in the wrong avenue. Like, the word still remains, but the way that I was going to express it was going to be out of hurt. And so I wasn't going to do that. But when I'm asked, what are my thoughts? What do I feel? What do I hear for the vision? I'm speaking from that place, and that's like the quick synopsis of how I don't know how to say that. It's a quick breakdown of how I
feel,
am viewing, thinking. Yeah. And so then the other part of my character is I naturally challenge stuff, like through and through. It doesn't matter what it is. I will try to find every chink in the armor and point it out so that wherever the chink is, we can address it and fix it. It's never to degrade or belittle or to shame or whatever. It's so that we all see the same thing as a weak point or a place of caution more so, and to be aware of it. So with that, consistency, collaboration, follow through, left the word blank for Dontre. I said it, and how I was speaking through that lens, through the thought process, through how I gauge. Everyone else in the room does the same thing, but the way that it's expressed, the way that it's looked at is different. Kendrick in the room heard that and received it. It was filtered through the way that he hears, the way that he perceives, the way that he's thinking through the season that he's in, just like I am, just like Darius was, just like Gabe was. And what it felt like was there. It was like it was as if I was saying something and it was getting caught in the air by someone else. And then they scrambled it up and then gave it to the next person, being Kendrick. And then he would say something, and it was like it was being caught in midair, scrambled up, and then given to me. And so because of that, it felt like I was having heart failure.
No, you were definitely going through it.
And what y'all probably don't know, because I don't know if we've had a podcast since then.
Oh, we haven't. We haven't.
Christmas Day, I was in the ER because I have a PVC, which is a premature ventricular contraction, and a heart palpitation at the same time, or maybe it's one is the, I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. The paperwork says two different things, but it sounds like it's one, but I don't know. Never had heart issues in my life. So with that, it just feels weird. Like whenever my heart starts acting up, I get lightheaded. I can't think clearly. And I believe it's stress induced. And that shit stressed me out. I ain't gonna cap. I was getting hot. Couldn't breathe. I'm over here looking for Darius.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, translate, please. Because
you literally said those words.
I see it not getting caught. It's not being understood. I know what that is like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm speaking English. He's speaking Spanish, but there's no translator. And then when he's speaking Spanish, I'm speaking English.
And there's some words that you're catching, but others you're not. So then you have to interpret it another way in your own head. Yeah. And all that. Yeah, no, for sure.
And it was extremely frustrating. But I don't know what you want me to say after that.
I just want to know how you felt about it.
Yeah,
like the situation. How do you feel now about it after you've had time to process? Is it the same? Do you feel any different? Do you feel like maybe God was using that or is trying to use that?
Do I feel like God was using that? Well, to say that he wasn't, I don't think that would be right. But to say that he was, I mean,
I want to know how you see it. That's what I want to know. Like, because in my head, and that's how I expressed it to Kendrick afterwards. Like, I wish we were recording because I was literally cheesing the whole time, just smiling. Like, and there was points where I was laughing. I know y'all were going through it. Both of y'all mentally were going through it. But at the same time, I was smiling. I was like, oh my goodness. Like I felt like this was needed. That situation was needed. And it may have been bigger for you than it was for him. And I'm not saying like he took it lightly, but I'm saying like it may have been bigger for you, like need wise, than for him. And that's how I viewed it. But I also told Kendrick, I was like, I think y'all both needed that. And in light of what we're doing, what we're trying to do with ECC, with other people, other creative minded people coming in, biblical or non-biblical worldviews,
believers or not.
Yeah. So yeah. And so I felt it was good for him on that part because now we can learn how to communicate to those individuals a lot better, especially when we have an Isaiah here. And then your point, now I'm able to communicate to Kendrick and navigate in that world as we build a relationship together. And that's why I was just like, I think it was both. I literally the day after I had to go up there to the church to help out, to check and make sure they had the sound up and going for the service that they were having. And I was like, and he was up there doing it when I got there. So I was like, oh, bet. I was like, hey. And then he ended up bringing it up. He was like, how do you think Isaiah felt about it? I was like, regardless of how either one of y'all feel, I think that it was really good. I said, I think it was good. I think it was necessary. And I think we can take that as an opportunity to grow from the situation and learn each other. Personalities and stuff, all that stuff is important. I am a huge believer in that. We talked about that in season 1. I'm a huge believer in that. And so I think that for me, that's what I saw and that's what I was hearing. Like, despite what it was, like, that's what I was hearing. I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity for growth, a great opportunity for you guys to learn one another.
Yeah.
And learn how to navigate through that stuff, how to communicate to one another.
I think it could have been made a whole lot easier if you would have just translated.
I know. But there was a point where you, like I said, when you verbalize that, like Darius translate, where I was about to start, but he ended up saying something that was like, he needs this. Like, he needs this. So like, that's why he kept asking you, like, Isaiah, like, I want to hear you. Like, I want to hear what you're saying. I want to hear the words. Like, I don't want to just listen to the words. I want to hear what you're saying. That's why he kept asking you that same thing, because it's like he's trying to navigate through it and hear Isaiah's heart. And he's just trying to, that's why I didn't say anything. That's why when you said translate, and I was literally about to open my mouth and start saying, like, and I might have said it. I might have been like, what he's saying is, but he said something that literally stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, oh, he wants to know. And so I was like, let me back up. And I started smiling again. Like, let me back up. And then he asked you, like, Isaiah, I want to hear you. I want to hear your heart. I want to hear what you're saying. And so I backed off. It could have been easier for sure, but sometimes growth isn't easy. So, and that's how I saw it in that situation.
Yeah, but when I was saying translate, I'm not saying you translate what I'm saying.
You're saying translate what he's saying for you. I think it was also good for you there to hear it. And maybe that wasn't the setting for it.
Well, I mean, I would say okay, I'll say this. I do believe it was healthy. To the extent that it went on, absolutely not. It didn't have to go that long.
Yeah.
Because just a piece of it, I'd be like, oh, like I get it. But then
was there a point that came to you? You're like, okay.
When I was biting my fucking lip, and Gabe's over here like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold my tongue.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I understood because the whole time I saw what you were doing.
I don't feel God in it. After a certain point, it was like, oh, no, someone, like, this needs to be cut off. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
Now, with that though, afterwards, after the meeting, I came in here. Kendrick left. I asked y'all. I was like, was I making sense?
Right.
Y'all like, yeah, we understood you.
Like, we understood you for sure.
My initial response, and I think it's 50-50. Or really, it's 100-100, because whatever. Was, oh, he needs to just be a better listener.
Mm.
True.
That's how you felt.
100%. I still feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, we all were
sure
saying that. But then again, it brought me back to when God told me that the hardest group that I will ever reach would be the church. Okay. That's ass. like that's bad. It's good, but that's bad. That's so bad.
Which sucks for you.
Which is why Tuesday I'm only throwing out scripture.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah.
If that's the only way you can hear, man, I guess. But that's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I have it.
No, I believe it.
I can pull it out when I need to, but that's not English. Like,
you're saying that's not translatable across the board,
bro. I want to bite this. We all read books.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same words.
Yeah.
Authors say things a little differently, but we know what they're saying.
Yeah.
How much different is it between each person talking? Now, I get it. I get that some people hear things through what has been done in the past. For example, how I hear y'all talk about the merge.
Yeah.
How I see black people get when the conversation of cops is thrown out.
Yeah.
It's like instantly when there's certain words that are thrown out, when there's certain conversations that are had.
Check out or
100%.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't know that they're seeing it through a lens that, like, anyone on the outside, like me, I'm like, bruh. That's why I was asking, like, do you know what that was about?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I'm like, I think you do know. It's just you don't know how to put it. I think you see it. It's just you don't know how it. I don't know. That's one thing that I'll raise my hand. I don't know how to describe that. It's like discerning, I guess. Like But like you can see when someone shifts.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a room with someone who's been sexually abused and you make a joke about.
We'll redact that, YouTube.
If someone makes a joke about being touched by their uncle or something,
we'll redact that as well.
Allegedly. Sexual abuse ain't funny.
That's not. God bless it.
I said it's not funny.
Yeah, it's not in the slightest.
That's what I'm saying.
Not in the slightest.
But hypothetically, you're at a stand-up show.
Yeah, and someone's
out here doing crowd work or whatever, and they don't know who's in the crowd.
Sure.
But their work that they have prepped is about their experience that they had with their dad. They just made it funny. That nigga's not healed in that area. They hear anything about abuse in a certain way, it's being filtered through that. You don't have clear eyes. I get it. But let's not act like we see stuff clearly. Like, let's not act like we're taking in a whole bunch of information from outside sources, or we're clinging on to our own truth and saying that this is law. No, you do that, you messed up. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think that's why this part is important. Y'all can't see it, but we have a whole whiteboard.
100%.
Yeah, that's why
100%.
That's important, because it's like because we all need to be seen through that lens, but also at the same time,
100%.
I think that there's still differences in personality, differences in how we communicate, and different reaches per individual. Kind of like what you're saying. I firmly believe, and it's hard to articulate, especially to individuals that are in the church. It's really hard to articulate, like, how you're talking right now is not going to get anybody that's unchurched.
Right.
And so it's like it's hard to articulate why. It's honest for me, anyways. It's hard to articulate, like, bro, this is good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not going to get these people over here. It's just not. And I'm not saying that Jesus isn't so attractive that it can't attract anyone, but I'm saying we have to communicate in a way that they can understand it and present him to individuals that, like, the Cosby Show says something. Bill Cosby, shout out. That's crazy.
You know what's even more wild?
Is that we have to? I know that. That's why I was like, it's so crazy. I have to cut that.
You got to redact that.
Yeah, I redacted that one.
Just like Dave Chappelle said, dream deferred. Have you seen his new stand-up?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen all of it.
Dream deferred.
That's crazy.
It is insane.
But anyways, he did something on the Cosby Show to where he was like, "You love steak," and then all of the kids were like, "Yeah, we love steak." He said, "This is what you did to me, presenting your new boyfriend to me." And he plopped a steak on a trash can lid and said, "Here." It's like, I don't want that. Like, steak's good. I mess with steak, but like, I don't want that. Like, it's how you presented it to me. And that's how I feel the church is. The church is like, this is great. Yes, because you've seen it. So you have to think of your experience and like your navigation, especially coming from a non-believer to a believer. Think of that. Like, you were opposed to it at one point. What made you attracted to it? And so you have to think of that journey and present it to others in a way that they can see it. Like, they don't want to see, like, people are not going to come in, especially if you're a non-believer or if you're running. You're not going to come into a place that is just like, here's a Bible and you should just read it because it's really good. It's like, no, like, someone like Tima's going to be like, why is this good for me? Like, show me how this is good for me. Like, how does this how does this address things in my life that I'm going through right now? And how does my thinking, like, how does that tie in to what you're like giving me right now? Like, I want to know all that stuff. And then you have the cultural differences, you have the personality differences and all that other stuff that go into play. But I'm just saying, presenting it in a way, I don't know how we got on that tangent just now.
Lenses.
Yeah. And so yeah. Yes. So that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I thought that whole situation was good between you two. Because I'm just like, number one, it shows everybody the lens in which we're seeing through. Even if we're both on this, I wish I could see it. Even if we're both on this biblical worldview, like, we can see how you're seeing it through that lens, like how you're communicating through that lens. We can see that stuff now.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, I think it was really good. And now I know how to present something to you in the future, going forward. And so,
which I mean, it would be dumb for me to say God didn't use that.
Yeah.
God didn't want that. God didn't want that. Because there's fruit that came from it.
Sure.
Can't deny that.
Yeah.
To the extent, though. I don't know. We gonna have to clear some stuff out. However, I'm intrigued. I'll just say that. Like, that's the only thing. Because the word. Now, I thought, and it might be, some words that I gave to everyone might be specifically for me. But I think in general, they apply as a whole.
Yeah, sure.
Like, collaboration makes so much sense.
It does. And I think he's walking in that, at least opening the grounds for it for sure.
And I have no idea.
Yeah.
Gabe follow through makes so much sense.
Oh, for sure.
The word for Dontre makes so much sense, especially through the context in which it was clarified. Consistency,
yeah, for sure,
makes so much sense. Now if y'all niggas got to work for me, that'd be nice. But to sum up all of it,
I think I could.
You're gonna bruise something up?
No. I'm not talking about now. I'm saying like
gap. Oh man, that's the Lord, ain't it?
No, I got you.
Yeah, but to sum it all up, at the end of it, and I came to y'all, and I asked what y'all heard, and y'all said that we understood you. It's like, okay, so it must be a him thing. But the moment I say it's anything outside myself, I know it's a me thing also. To some degree. And so he said that my articulation needs to be better. I highly disagreed with that.
Yeah.
However, I will speak in a way that you can understand, but you won't get me through that. Like, you won't know me through that. You'll see who you want me to be. You'll see what you're attracted to, not who I am. Because I do say scripture.
Yeah, no, sure.
I don't say scripture though. Yeah. I can take stories that are said and break them down in a different way without quoting, hey, this was Proverbs 10:11. Nigga.
Yeah.
If the principle is there, if it's 1 for 1, which I tend to always make it very close 1 to 1.
Sure.
Why are you not hearing me?
Yeah.
Unless you only memorize scripture and you can't make it life at that point. Not saying Kendrick, but that's just church.
You're saying in general, yeah.
That's church. Like, I don't understand that. But I mean, that's my tangent. So
so that's how you felt.
Yeah. But I have to remind myself that constantly. Like, it wasn't just Kendrick.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, I'm going to get prideful.
Sure.
I'm gonna feel like I don't have any work. I always have work to do.
Definitely. What in that situation do you feel? Okay, I think Isaiah needs to do this or be intentional on this, grow from this in that situation.
Say that differently, or can you?
Let me say how you want me to be you.
I need you. I need your articulation is garbo.
How
are you a believer?
That was a stupid question, Isaiah. That had to be rolling. I could not stop laughing. That was funny. And that was definitely a rhetorical question. Did you think that was a sincere question?
The thing is...
You thought it was a sincere question.
No, the thing is... I'm drawing lines from old conversations also. I'm like, I see a pattern with this. Because when he was in here, he asked the same question. I don't know if this is, I don't know about y'all, but
yeah. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That wasn't a rhetorical statement when you said it then.
Yeah, then it was not.
This might have been, sure.
Yeah.
But every line of question
you're adding all that stuff up. Yeah.
Every line of question he was saying then, none of those were rhetorical. So to make that as the exception, I don't see it that way. I don't. Now, if he was like, yeah,
it was rhetorical.
Okay. I know for sure that hit a spot for me.
It did not feel rhetorical to you. Not at all.
No.
No, I saw your face. I saw your face.
Yeah, no. My response was not.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Low key, it was raised Isaiah. Like. I was gonna say that's old Isaiah, but really that's new Isaiah. Cause what the bruh. That
was funny.
Was funny. Yeah. No, that. Yeah.
No, out of all the direct stuff that he was saying, that was one of that. I was just like that when he asked it, I was like, that's rhetorical. But I immediately knew that you were not going to take it as a rhetorical question, and I felt like you were like, that's like I said. But I looked over, I saw your face, I was like, oh shoot, this dude.
Yeah.
This dude about to go in. And I'm glad you only did what you did or said what you said. Because
no, that was God. That was for sure God.
That was God.
I was for sure. Bro, I tried to use every tool that I knew possible to keep it cordial.
Yeah.
Difficult people are difficult people.
But some difficult people are only difficult for certain people.
I believe difficult people are only difficult for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell. Like I don't know. Like that's it. That's why I give room.
Yeah. Are you a difficult person? Would you consider yourself a difficult person?
To who?
You said difficult people are difficult people.
Because it definitely matters. I don't necessarily think so. Because to a degree, I adjust my character based off of the company that I'm around. So, and when I say that,
I was about to say.
When I say that, I suppress certain pieces of myself based off of how comfortable people are in certain situations.
So you give yourself to the degree that someone's comfortable with you. So like if I'm only comfortable with you to this degree, that's as much as you're going to give.
Well, it's not only comfortable, but it's also like because really, if someone is opened to being challenged,
Yeah.
If someone is humble enough to be like, hey, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
This is my thought process. I'm throwing it out there. And if they have no issue with people like raising their hand or going against them, being like, hey, dog, that ain't it.
Yeah.
No matter where on the ladder that you sit, from day one, I can be open with that person. But the moment I see a hierarchy that someone expresses, I place myself where I feel like they put me, and then I allow them to move me up or down. Okay. Like that's it. Because for me to throw myself out there, willy-nilly, that's destructive. Nothing about. I will never do anything. I don't. Yeah, ain't no way. I would never try to devise a plan to destroy something. Yeah. To break it up, to cause calamity, discourse. Yeah. That's not in me. Okay. If I'm doing something that might seem that way, I am trying to point something out.
I believe
that's it.
I agree with that.
That's it. Because if I just throw it straight out there, you're not going to think on it. If I'm like, hey, man, you have an issue with consistency somewhere. Yeah. I put out a whole bunch of areas. You're not going to think. Yeah. If I point them, hey, like, let's do this more. Like that, like this, like that, like that. Because at that point, it's me. Yeah. And it's not me. It's you. You do you. This guy. Gabe is in the next room in the studio. Yeah.
Okay, so with all that being said, I don't think you answered my question.
Oh my God, my bad.
No, you're good.
I don't know what it was.
What from that situation were there things in you that you're like that you've taken away from it? And I think I'm asking it in a different way now. I can't remember how I asked it, but I'll just reword the whole thing. Okay. What are some things, since we're talking about that, what are some things in you that you're just like, okay, now like I know that these are areas that like I need to grow in. And so not only that, once you answer that question, answer how do you go about growing? Like what is your plan of attack? Like how do you do it? How do you walk me through how you do it and what it looks like for you?
How I go about growing.
Yeah. Your intentionality to growth. Like I know, for example, if I gave you a word, like you gave me one, what would you do with that?
Oh, it absolutely depends. It absolutely depends. Because I mean, I've only received 3 words in the 7 years, 5 years that I've been a Christian. One was Ryan and Cassie. He said something about me being clinging to you this season, but at that time I was like, "What the fuck is this guy?" Yeah, I didn't know you like that. I was like, surely he means Dontre. He's just getting mixed up in his head. That's it. This guy's weird. Like, and plus he was wrestling people. Like in the middle.
Yeah, you were there, bro. Yes. Oh my God. Was that you when I picked up I was picking up something from the old house?
Yes.
That was you.
Yeah, and he just out of nowhere,
full-blown wrestling
he's just
match.
wrestling you, and you're like, okay.
I was like, all right, someone help me.
This man starts out hugging you, and then next thing you know,
on the ground just wrestling. Love you,
locked
Ryan.
up.
Love you, Ryan.
Locked up. You can't move. It was definitely the weirdest thing I've seen, but it was the funniest because it's like
you're not expecting that. Could not be me, man.
Ain't no way.
Could not be me.
But yeah, so that was one.
What's his name from Tulsa gave I think you and Morgan one.
Black dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Riles.
Bingo. And then maybe first dude ever. Back at 66.
Oh, Robbie dude. Mitchell.
Maybe. I don't remember anything.
That's tough. I hate that you don't, because
I remember
for some reason that stuck on me so bad. I want to know what he said to you, what those words were, because I remember you walked like you were number one, you were crying, but then number two, and I didn't want to make you sound soft in front of everybody.
No, it was tears of anger.
Yeah, I know you were saying that.
Not a bit of no. No.
So you remember the feeling, but you don't remember what was said.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember the heat. I remember me being pissed. I remember standing up there. I don't remember why I would have gotten up and moved forward. I don't remember when I grabbed tissue. Yeah. I remember there was a lot of snot. I don't remember sitting down. I don't remember the rest of that day. I have no idea what happened.
Crazy.
I really don't remember anything until after yeah. Like even 101 was blurry. Yeah. So, stuff is strange.
So how are you intentional on growing?
Godly, I don't know.
You're just not gonna answer it, huh? If I gave you a word, like you gave me consistency.
That's growing though.
Definitely.
But I don't receive words like that. None of them have been that. It's been more so like, hey, this is where you are.
Well, you grow, and there's things that you acknowledge in yourself. Yeah. And you're always self-probing. You're always doing stuff, pruning and all that stuff with yourself personally. How do you recognize it? Like, take me through the process for you. How do you recognize something? How do you go from recognizing it to making a plan of attack? If there's a plan of attack, like, just take me through that journey of maybe you lashed out at something like, dang, bro, I am harsh. So let me not be hard. Like, how does that work for you? Or is it something that you just realize and you're just like, I just got to stop doing that?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I'm
not even going to do it. I was about to ask you a rhetorical question. I didn't want you to tell me I'm stupid or nothing.
Oh, well, I'm glad you say it's rhetorical, so now you can ask.
It's rhetorical, all right? Okay. You've grown, huh?
Motherfucker. Yes.
You've grown.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that look like for you?
I don't know. I don't see myself, though. So, like, I don't.
But you feel yourself. You don't see yourself, but you feel yourself. And there's no way you don't.
Not until I'm on the other side.
You're on the other side. From where you started, you can look back from the point that you're at now and turn around and be like, oh, that's that.
Yeah.
How did I get from there to here? Like, what does that look like? Or are you traveling down a dark tunnel and someone flashes a light on? You're like, oh, dang, I traveled all this way.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
At least that's what it feels like for me. I don't think that there is much of anything that I can do. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it's all just kind of placed out there. Like the only thing that I'm that I know I sit with is like issues with people. It's the only thing that I can address. That's the only responsibility that we have. Is I'm supposed to be cordial. And that's the hardest thing for me. Yeah. Because people are stupid. Like dumb. And then, but also, okay. So ask the question one more time. Because I think I'm seeing it. One more time.
What is your
No, go ahead.
What does your
go ahead.
What does your growth look like? How do you get from one place to another? Like, how do you, if someone gave you a word, like I gave you a specific word, which I think something's brewing in my head. Okay. Being downloaded, but
that word, by you saying word, I don't understand.
Well, I'm only saying what you've said. You said, like, if I give you like a legit straight up word, one word,
Oh, I'm thinking like a word of the Lord.
Prophetic
word.
Oh,
well, I guess same.
Yeah, same. What does the process look like for you to be intentional? Or are you intentional? Or is it just you saying, okay, this is it, I'm cutting that out type of thing?
No, absolutely not. Number one, I hold words with a grain of salt. I know that's like opposite of biblical.
Yeah.
Sorry, like what am I supposed to do? like if there's no instructions to it, okay, like it is what it is. But like I said, I've never gotten one that has instructions to it.
Sure.
Or one that has a direction. It's more so like, hey, this is the season that you're in. Okay.
All right,
I knew that.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been hurt in your past life.
Hasn't
everybody?
Yeah, everybody's.
Well, you call anyone out, they're probably going to boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's not a word, but sure. Whatever. I'll tell. Okay. Give me a hypothetical word. Just throw something, dude.
I'm not gonna do it.
This is the craziest freaking thing. I don't know. I literally don't know. I don't know. Because the only thing that I worry about is people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters to me. Like, as long as I can communicate with people and I'm not biased, there should never be an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of anything in your life that's like that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I love philosophy. I love psychology. Those two together, great. I love thinking outside of yourself, because then that helps me see outside of myself.
Mm.
And if you can see outside yourself, great. I don't know how to answer that, because people don't think like that. I don't know how y'all. I don't know how people grow.
Man, see, so you're
that doesn't
having
make sense.
That's the same conversation I have with Amber, just asking her, because I asked her a similar question, like, what does your growth look like? How do you grow? Like, are you intentional? Like me, I know I have to be very intentional, like just from my personality. And so then that got me on a whole rabbit trail of like thinking outside of myself. And I'm just like, bro, I probably think more than not. I probably think that everyone thinks along the lines of me, and they don't. Like, probably no one thinks along the lines of me except for me. And so I have to understand and give room for those individuals. And these are literally the words I'm telling Amber. I'm like, I have to give room for you. Like, I'm literally thinking that you're thinking like me, and you're thinking on a whole nother train track. Like, you're all the way over there.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, and that's why I said understanding personalities is important. Understanding how to communicate is super important, because without that, I won't be able to talk to Amber on the train track all the way over there, because she is all the way over there. We don't think alike at all. There's some things that are similar, but it's still on another track. I don't know how I got on that either. What did you just say? You said something that sparked that. That gummit.
I don't know. The one thing that I mean I caught from that I don't know if people pick out when me and Kendrick were going back and forth.
Yeah.
There were a couple sections where we're just asking questions back and forth, trying to figure out where each other we're speaking from. I don't know if it was like just not enough questions being asked, not enough questions in the right direction, or if questions regardless,
or the right questions.
Well, yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but I think I land on like the regardless. Neither one of us would have hurt each other. That's where I land.
Yeah.
No matter what.
See, I disagree with that.
I mean,
I don't think that. I think that if the right questions were asked in the right way, there would be an understanding of some sort, at least some resolution of some sort. Right. If the right questions were asked in the right way. So like and then not only that, if there is room for clear communication to be given after that the right question was asked the right way. And then once that communication is given, I can respond fully in a certain way that you can understand it, and then ask a question back to that, and then allow you to respond back. I mean, that's what I think a debate is. I mean, a debate is that, like, we don't have to see eye to eye on this thing or whatever we're doing, but I'm listening to you, taking that in, and now I'm going to respond back to that based off that. And it's not in this, and that's kind of what y'all were doing. No, it wasn't. I'll just take that back all the way. It was not what y'all, that's not what it sounded like anyway.
It feel like that.
No, it sounded like what it sounded like. It looked like it was like,
I don't know.
Outright, just honestly, confusion. It was like you were saying one thing, he was saying one thing, and you're like, wait, what the heck? Like, that's not even what the heck I'm saying. And then you were saying something back, and then it's just going back and forth that way. And that's why I was like, this is healthy. It shows us where we're at as far as communicating. But like I said, I think that could have been resolved, or it can be resolved, and is being resolved. Because I really think that now we're thinking. Now everyone's thinking like, is it me? Is it this? Or how do I need to adjust? Or this and that? And so I think it was healthy.
Yeah. So I think to throw you back on
track.
Yeah. That wind is messing me up.
That is crazy.
I don't know if y'all can hear. I doubt it.
I hope they can't, because that junk was whistling earlier.
The door just needs a new weather seal on it. But people perceiving, or people growing.
Yeah.
You went down a rabbit trail with how you think people think like you.
Right.
And so therefore you speak in a way that you would understand.
Yeah, so
is that what you're saying?
So my communication was based off of my perception of that. Like, I thought that I thought that it was common sense for everybody to think in this lane or think like this. But the more I'm growing, my mind, I'm opening up my mind to realize, like, okay, everyone's not thinking like me. So now my communication can be a lot better, because now I can communicate. And I've talked to Corey about this. The issue when people, and this turned into a communication type of thing, but the issue that I've seen and I've realized, the issue with people in communication is you get an individual who only sees, gun that wind.
I don't think you can hear it.
Can't? You can hear that, Jack.
Oh, when you're speaking, I can hear it.
Anyways, when you get an individual that only sees things and perceives things in their world and how they perceive it, it leaves zero grounds for true communication. For example, we got a brother that in real life, we have a brother that has communicated outwardly, like, it's hard for me to be around this other brother because, like, our worlds are just different, or this person's too hard. He may be too harsh and this and that, and like he speaks and it's degrading and this different things like that. And I'm just like, you're not hearing him. Yes, he'll cuss you out smooth. Yes, he'll what?
Sorry.
What was funny about that?
I was just thinking about who it could be.
I don't know how you couldn't put two and two together.
No, that's why I'm laughing.
Oh,
because that's funny.
Yeah, like, and so it's like,
yes, I don't hear him.
Huh?
I don't hear him.
You don't hear him?
No.
That's crazy. So I'll say it in reference to you then. So, like, yes, he'll do that, and yes, it sounds like it's degrading. Yes, it sounds like it's belittling.
Because it is.
The words are, but that's not what his heart's saying. And that's why I was telling the other brother, like, bruh, you have to listen. And the other brother didn't grow up around the other individual. And a lot of people won't. And that's why I say communication. And it goes both ways, because the harsh individual, harsh brother, the language was that in the household. And so with the language being that, and that being all that's known. That's just like me speaking Chinese. If I'm in a Chinese home, that's my language. That's how I communicate. That's how I talk. That's what I'm used to. So if I'm calling you this, this, and this, and this, and I've had to break it down to our other brother, like that man cares for you, and our other brother's like, he wouldn't care less if I died right now. It's like, bro, I am trying to tell you, he would do whatever is necessary for you. If there was any kind of altercation, this brother will be right there in front of you to protect you, 100%. And the other brother was like, no, there's no way. I'm like, yes, he would. I can see that. And that's true. And so those moments of the harshness, that's why I'm like, you have to listen to what he is. Hear what his heart's saying to you. Don't listen to the words that he's saying. Listen to what his heart's saying, because they're saying, the words are saying one thing, but his heart's saying another thing. So whenever he's saying, I'm not going to cuss or nothing, but whenever he's saying, don't be a B and don't be this or that or whatever, it's literally him saying, hey man, that would be equivalent to me saying, hey, I think you're being a little bit sensitive to this topic, and we may need to address this, and we may need to talk about it. That is equivalent to me saying that. Him saying that is because that is how it was communicated to him growing up, practically speaking. Now, I think whenever we get back to this stuff over here, things should start shifting. But that's when I'm just like, you have to understand where people are at in their lives, because that matters. If they aren't maturing or up to the point to where you feel maybe they should be, and then that's a lot of expectations, or that's a lot of the issues also that I've seen. But if they're not there, it makes it almost impossible for you to see. If they're not meeting the expectations of where you feel like they should be, it makes it almost impossible to communicate, because you're talking to them and it makes a full circle back to what we talked about initially. You're not going to be able to communicate with them effectively, and you'll always be at odds, and you'll always take offense to what they're saying, or you might take it wrong because you're expecting them to be at a place and you're communicating to them at the place that you feel that they should be at, and they're just not there, and it'll just be impossible for them.
So I agree. But I agree, and I also kind of disagree at the same time.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like I said, it might be flawed. That's just where I'm at in my walk and what I've seen and experienced in my life.
Because I get it. I get both sides.
Sure.
I've been on both sides.
Yeah.
There's truth on both sides. 100%. I don't know what to do if one side's doing all the adjusting.
Sure.
That's not right.
Yeah. I don't feel it is right, but I don't think it's not, there's certain, depending on the entrance that the individuals allowed you into their lives, there's just certain things that just like, that you just don't have control over. And honestly, you don't have control over any of it, but your growth, I'm not responsible for my brother's growth and all that other stuff. That is their personal relationship with God, all that. I am responsible for myself in this relationship. That's the only part of this relationship that I'm responsible for, is me. And I have to love you at the place that you're at, point blank, period. And so if we're called in covenant together, it is what it is. Like, it might suck for me for years on out, but it would put me at a specific place if
that wind doesn't shut up.
If that wind don't shut up. it would put me at a specific place if I don't love you from the place that you're at. Like that would be like me getting frustrated at Zara, our newborn baby. Mm-hmm. I want her to. She don't wake up at 4:00 in the morning. Like that's selfish as heck. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. She's a baby. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm loving her from the place that she's at, and so I can't expect brothers of mine, and I'm not comparing anybody by any means to babies, new infants, but I'm saying loving my brothers from the place that they're at is a big, major thing for me because it helps me balance out. And there's older brothers, there's younger brothers, and it helps me balance out who do I need to be for my little brother. And so do I need to be like, there might be seasons of me saying, hey bro, do this, and this, or hey, you got to cut that out. Or there might be certain seasons, and I'll even say his name, T-Mite. There are seasons here recently for T-Mite where I'm like, hey, what are you doing to grow spiritually, man? What are you doing? And his response to me is always refreshing because he's always self-aware of the place that he's at. Now, he won't articulate that to everybody, but he is always, so he reminds me of you in that. Like, he's always self-aware of where he's at. It's like, man, I'm at this place and I know what the heck's in my way of doing this. And so I need to make these adjustments. I just don't want to. Like, my body don't want to. Like, my heart don't want to. My heart wants to hold on to this type of stuff. It's like, all right, like, okay, I can love you from that place because I know now. And now we can battle together throughout whatever the heck. And so it's like, all that stuff comes full circle. It's like understanding and loving your brother from that place, or loving anybody from that place. And so I feel like I'm responsible in our relationship.
Yeah, but I'm also responsible for my heart.
100%.
Everything. And
that's why I take that approach, because I'm like, outside of that, I would be better at a lot of people because the amount of people that come in and out type of thing, or this person's backslid and done this. And like we've told you 1,000 times, don't do this. And because it will cause you to go back into this cycle. And so now we're having to battle through this all together. And what really makes it suck is that I'm always going to be here, point blank, period. And so with that, since I take it from the approach of I have to love you from where you're at, it takes a huge weight off of this is me personally, me feeling like I am responsible for your walk and your journey. And so it takes that weight off. And so I no longer have that weight. And then at the same time, I do not feel bad whenever, in my life experience, whenever I don't see you, because it's not by choice on my end, but it maybe by choice on your end. But I can navigate through that differently now because I can love you from no matter whatever place you're at in life. I can love you from that place. And so if you're in Timbuktu and in my heart you're still my brother, I just have to love you from that place, point blank, period.
Yeah.
That's why I say guarding my heart. Yeah, that is my responsibility as well. And that is how I have felt it has helped me a lot in that, because before I gained that revelation for myself, I was like, I think there was a lot of hurt, a lot of wounds, a lot of all that other stuff that, even there was even points with you that you were like, even probably to this day, it might make me feel a certain type of way, but how I process it and navigate through it is a lot different. But there are seasons where you were just like, and it bothered me, and I've never expressed this to you, but it bothered me that you're like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here in Claremore doing this. I'm gonna be out and doing this over here. Like, I feel like this, or like whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so when you said that, it made me feel a certain type of way, especially previous to my knowledge and revelation, because I'm like, dang,
interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, I have a little brother here who I'm growing in relationship with and growing closer to, and now this dude's dipping out like everybody else. And so, but now I'm just like, oh, this dude doesn't need to stay here, especially if that is what God's called you to do is do that. Like, it would be, number one, selfish for me to be like, nah, he's going to stay here and he's going to build this stuff here. It would be selfish. And then at the same time, I'm just like, it don't matter now because I can love you from there. I can love you from there. I can love you from over there. And so it don't matter. So that's my whole point, is the whole relational dynamic and communication and knowing where someone's at and loving them from that place.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. The disagreeing, that's what I want to know.
I think that there's relationships that are unhealthy.
Sure.
And to put distance between yourself would be the only way to guard your heart. Until change occurs.
Okay.
For example.
Okay. Go ahead.
Say a brother, a family member, even. You have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Touches one of your kids in an inappropriate way.
Yeah, if you're going to have to, yeah.
You're going to create distance. You're going to address it.
This will be tough.
And then there's going to be distance.
Yeah, this will be tough.
But, I mean, realistically, everyone has a different measure of what's wrong. Like, different avenues. So
yeah, sure.
So if you verbally disrespect me, I'm cutting ties to a degree. If you
see, that's personality.
Well, that's
ahead.
What I'm saying. That but I'm also talking sin.
Sure.
Like, if I steal from you over and over and over.
Yeah, no, you ain't gonna steal from me over and over.
You're probably not gonna have me in your house or around all your expensive 100%. Stuff. So you're gonna certain distance.
Yeah, no. So I will. There's multiple things that I would do. So that could be an avenue, me creating distance, or I just put up my expensive stuff so that you can still come over.
Okay, so what if the expensive thing is your heart, and what
sure. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. That's
why I'm like, I don't blame anyone that creates distance.
Yeah,
as long as you're open to them changing. Like, if you're like creating distance, you're like, I'm never talking to that person again. You fucked up. I don't agree with that.
See, that's deep. See, this is the stuff that Daniel Wilson needs to be here. Because there's a lot of things that I agree with you. I want to make that clear. I do agree with you. I agree with that. I think that there are points where, especially if it's unhealthy and it's sinful and it is legit against you, then separation has to be made. I agree with that. What I walk this fine line of is, my heart got hurt. How much of this is me? How much of this is actually them?
100%.
And so that's why for me, it's always, my whole life, since I was a baby, since I can remember, I'll say it like that, it's been hard for me to cut off people, because I'm like, I don't know how much of this offense that's in my heart, and how much of this hurt is stemmed from wounds and stuff in me versus actually something that you're actually doing. Because I don't think that there's ever been anybody in my life that has outrightly just straight up done something against me to a point, and there has been, but overall, I don't think there's been anybody that's literally outright done something against me to the point to where I'm just like, I legitimately have to cut ties with you. There's been a lot of people that have hurt me that have not directly done it, though, if that makes sense. Like, I heard someone say something about somebody said something, or they did something about, like, it's always been something like that. Or you're in my presence, but you unintentionally did something to the point where I had to address it. But then in that situation, that individual always like, that's not even the way that I was doing this. Like, that's not even the direction that I was going with this. And so that's why, like, for me, it's always been difficult to be like, yeah, cut off. Now, you got someone like Kyra, like, she'll snip, like, you out of there type of thing. But for me, it's just not, I'm not like that. And I just can't, my heart can't do that, because
for multiple reasons. I see, like, if right now, I want to say that if right now you did something against me, and I don't know my own heart, but if right now you did something against me, I don't feel like I would respond like a lot of people might think I would respond. Now there might be that moment type of response, but my heart posture would not shift towards who you are because I see you. That's why I'm like, it's really hard for me to navigate through stuff like that because my mind and my heart are always playing a battle with each other. Mm-hmm. It's like my mind says something, or we'll say my flesh is saying something, but my heart is like, nah, let's give it a little bit so that we can process this. And so I process it. And then once it's processed, now I can be like, I still see that person. Like my view of them has not been skewed in any way. Now, if I'm not expressing this to you and I harbor a lot of this stuff, then that's when it can get dangerous for me. Because then at that point, I'm just like, things start festering to where it's like bitterness will start setting in, and then I just won't talk to you. And
if what?
I said bitterness will start setting in, and then I just won't talk to you.
No, if what doesn't happen? Or if you do what?
If I do not communicate with you an issue in my heart that I've had. And that's why I normally like to address things immediately. Like whenever Dontre and Corey got into it and they were fighting, like legit straight up, and Corey even thought I was going to get in and fight as well. And I was telling him, like, number one, because that's a whole nother conversation. They left. We all went our separate ways after the fight. And immediately, and I wasn't even the cause of the fight or anything. Like I was in the middle of both of them. Mm-hmm. I immediately got home and called both of them. And I was like, y'all are going to talk about this right now. Like, that's just how my heart is because I didn't want this to fester into something else that it's not supposed to be getting into. And so, I don't know. That's just my heart on that.
Yeah. I'm going to give you homework then.
Yeah, give it to me, man.
So, Tuesday I brought up Jonah. Story of Jonah.
Yeah.
I think that there are a handful of times in the Bible where there's separation that occurs. And there's multiple responses to it. But ultimately, the commonality between all of it is God's at work in it. And so that's why I'm like, if I feel the need, and it's not even a need. Well, it is a need. If it's like
pull up some scripture.
If it's like if I sit in this, I will die. So like false teachers and prophets. Yeah. If I'm correct, it's Old Testament. It might be new. I think it's Judges. Mm-hmm. It might be Judges. I don't know. But it says something along the lines of God will take the sheep that were under like this bad authority and put them in their own pasture. Mm-hmm. That sounds like isolation. But how does that work? Because throughout the Bible, you see it talk about community.
Yeah.
And unity. So why is this the exception? The only thing that makes sense to me is so that they can grow.
Yeah.
And naturally, they will engraft somewhere, or more people will come, or something, or unless they become a new hub. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Story of Jonah. These random people on a boat, they prepped for a storm. They timed it perfectly so that the storm would not affect them. They get on the boat. Jonah gets on the boat. They go out in the water. Now the storm's coming. How does that even make sense?
Yeah.
They go through all their inventory. They go through the paperwork. They look at everything. And they're like, it shouldn't be coming. They check everyone. The only person that stands out is Jonah. They throw Jonah over. Like, Lord of or God of Jonah, if this is you, please forgive us. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Jonah's eaten by a whale, and they become believers. How does that make sense?
Mm.
They threw a nigga out. How does that make sense? If someone amongst you sins against you, go to them one-on-one. If it's not resolved, then bring 1 or 2 witnesses or something like that. Then after that, go to the church, and then go to the elders, then go to the church, and then after that, kick them out. It sounds like there's a lot of separation, but it's for the sake of growth.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Before you said that, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's always directed in the area of growth, especially if someone doesn't see it. So especially in you just referenced Matthew,
yeah.
And so in that, like, if someone is consistently in a cycle of doing something, whatever, whoop-de-woo, the only way that they can see it is from being gone. That's the pattern of it. I mean, that's throughout that's Old Testament. That's with the prodigal son as well. He didn't see it until he came back. The father's love and all that other stuff. And so it's like, dang, that is, and like I said, and I don't even consider that in that realm. I will let someone go. I don't see in my heart. That's not what it feels like. I'm not feeling like I let them go. I'm feeling like a few things are the covenant is shifted a little bit. And I don't feel the weight of, which, I mean, obviously that might be cutting ties, because I don't feel obligated. I don't feel the weight of our relationship and the dynamic of it. I don't feel like I need to be as intentional with the relationship.
You're saying that's a bad thing?
No. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that is what in Matthew's, that's how I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't, that the cutting off, sending them out, and let them, like, that whole thing is that's how I feel. That's why I said it might just be the terminology that I don't agree with, cutting someone off, because my heart always has love for anybody, especially that I've been in covenant with, in relationship with, and that will never change. Hopefully, I still have the same amount of love. Now, when you come back and get back grafted in, there might be a relational dynamic that we have to catch back up to. But I mean, I still love you the same. So, so I agree. I agree with that. The cutting off, I guess.
So, this is my opinion. It might be fact. I don't know. I've never heard. I have heard. I've heard of churches kicking people out. Only if they're pastors. Only if they slip up one time, which obviously a lot builds up into the one-time slip up that gets you caught. I don't see it anywhere else. I don't see it in small groups. The guy who's consistently having sex with people. What? Hey, dude, you need to chill out. I understand if it's a slip up, but if you're going to the club constantly, if you're drinking with only females constantly, if your contact list is predominantly females, I don't see how you can say that there's growth. As believers, we can judge each other. But based off of what God says, and if God's like, hey, this ain't right, and you're still doing the same freaking thing. Now, sanctification, obviously leave room. But I feel like that's more so, and correct me where I'm wrong, I feel like sanctification should be thrown out or applied when talking about salvation, not about growth.
We're going to keep this conversation going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got to keep this conversation going. This is a conversation Daniel has to be involved in, I feel.
We can get a hold of him.
If we can get a hold of him. That's crazy. Well, we're going to make a part 2 to this, for sure.
I'm going to have to listen to this
No,
so
yeah,
I can get
for
the
sure.
same headspace.
100%. And Daniel will help. Daniel, hopefully, Daniel, you'll be on this part 2, but he'll be able to get us there for sure.
I do not want to just listen though. That's my thing. Like when I get around him, that's all I do. It's just I just listen.
Yeah, no, the show podcast. you host. I don't feel like that would happen.
We'll see.
I don't feel like that would happen.
And he says it's gonna be a year.
He said it's gonna be a year anyways. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this journey that we are going through currently in our lives, and stay tuned. If you guys have any other topics that you guys want us to touch on, make sure you leave them in the comments. Shoot us messages. Anything that y'all can do to get a hold of us, let us know. We want to hit topics that you guys want to hear. So
I ain't talking about Cat Williams though.
Oh shoot! Dang, bro. I was gonna end with that too. That's what I was gonna end with. But yeah, no. So we're out of here. I was gonna play Under Pressure, but I don't think it's gonna play in time. So
sanctification, salvation. That's what. I already said that.
There it is. Now we can officially be out of here.
All right, adios.
See y'all.
Like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts, opinions. Cuss me out, I guess. I don't know.
I'm under pressure, and I know that I can't take no more. I'm steady stressing, trying to give out all that I can pour. I know you need me in your life, but I can see you're sore. I'm ready to jump ship, but I'll leave that up to last resort. I'm under pressure, and I know that I can't take no more. I'm steady stressing, trying to give out all that I